Just a man on a mission, ambition to never fail. Personality electric, he is animated male. Intelligent and wise, calm and often cool. Chris James giving opinions while also speaking the truth. Empathy and compassion. Stephen Michael is here, helping you through your traumas, helping you with your fears. These three forces combine and keep it honest. Turn up the volume, cause this is the application of knowledge.
Hey, welcome to the Application of Knowledge podcast. I am Animated Male. We have Chris James here. We have Stephen Michael. And we're going to talk about a lot on episode 130. And we're going to start with semen retention because Stephen wanted to speak about semen retention.
No.
This is exactly what happened. He came down, got ready. He was like, hey, guys, I want to talk about semen retention.
Cap.
And me and Chris looked at each other like, okay, pause. But we're going to talk about semen retention. So,
Okay.
What are the benefits of... Have you ever done semen retention?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for the question, Kamala Harris, because you just lied. So, number one, thank you for the question, because everything you just mentioned was a complete lie.
Ah, Steven.
Fabrication.
It's the same old
No, it was a complete lie.
It's a lie, but lie up, lie down.
So I've done it, right? So you know that there is a
Okay, hold on. Is there a certain period of time that would be considered semen retention, or is it a planned thing, or is it involuntary? Because sometimes semen retention happens when you ain't trying to retain it. You feel me?
Yeah. I think it's a mix of both.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily whether you plan it or don't plan it. It's just the action.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were in a situation to where you were not able to either ejaculate or have sex, I mean, technically you're retaining your semen. Or, right, you could be in a situation where you are intentionally not ejaculating, whether having sex or during masturbation, right? So from my understanding, it's more or less about the action, not even necessarily whether it's intentional or not. But what they say is when you so we do understand that semen as a man is our life force, and not only is that biblical, but literally you have the power to create human. It is a seed, right, that we implant into a woman, and that seed then grows. So we understand that is power. So when you retain that for a period of time and you don't go through a period of ejaculation, that power continues to just recirculate through your body, and it allows you to be more clear in who you are, to make better decisions, and just in general, just make you a stronger man energetically, right? And if you can do that intentionally with a level of discipline, it makes you, in general, in my opinion, it makes you a better, stronger man. Any man that walks in discipline in any way, I think it's one of the foundations of being an actual man. It's one of the things that separates boys from men as a foundational piece is discipline. So that's my take on it.
Have you ever did semen retention, Chris?
Nah.
No semen retention?
Not even for 24 hours.
Maybe like 2 weeks, something like that, but I wouldn't count that. I think you got to do at least 30 days.
It's like a fast.
I can respect that.
Yeah. I mean, but look, I don't know about semen retention because the trees still have sex. Everybody's having sex except for us. We can't have sex. The trees will have sex every season or whatever they do. Whenever they can, they're doing it. That's why it's pollen all over the place, and they live to 400, 700,000 years old.
So you think
why we got to die because we have sex every day?
You think the more we have sex, the longer our lives will?
The opposite, but I mean that's the thought. I think the problem is that we're in a fallen state, and so we can't have sex regularly because it diminishes so much of our energy and our resources, and it's not getting properly. I think that's the problem. I think semen retention is a thing because we're unhealthy. Other than that, I don't think it was necessary.
You don't think that it's a fairly decent practice to I don't know, let's say that on a regular basis, as for let's say a single man, right, or who doesn't have access to his girlfriend, something like that, right, and they
Get out that relationship, cuz.
let's say that just on a regular basis they intentionally just don't masturbate a lot, right? So let's say once a week. I would
consider not a lot.
Once a week.
Yeah.
I think in today's world that would be considered not a lot.
Well, it's like, shoot, it took me 15 years before I even got intimate with
I'm
myself.
not talking about
19 years.
I'm talking about men. We're not talking about how long it's taken us. The first time I busted was
No. I'm talking about beating your meat.
Yeah, I think that in today's world, and obviously I don't go around monitoring the meat beating.
Yo, excuse me. When
know what I
last time you beat your meat?
But based upon conversation between men and conversations that you see online, I would say that once a week would be considered a semen retention based upon people that are talking about they do it twice a day or more.
Well, then I practice. But see, that's the thing. Like, what is the real truth? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if there is a real truth.
I think once a week, that's nothing. I personally, I think that's not semen retention. That's just
I feel
you're
like
busy.
it's just clearing the clearing the pipes. Clearing the pipes. You feel
I
me?
had a dude-
You backed up.
I had a dude tell me
Stupid.
I used to work at Media Play, so
Hey, media play. That was my shit, nigga.
this is back in the day. Yeah, you used to get them for a swing on.
You used to be on a swindle, nigga.
So back in the day, and he was like, "Yeah, man, one day I was just like, how many times can I come in one day?" And he telling me he did it 7 times. So if 7 times is like the crazy side, then once a week, once out of 7 days is probably like the other side of the spectrum. But
I've done. I have done.
What's the most you beat your meat in a day?
No. That's not
What's
where
the
I
most
was.
you beat?
That's not where I was going.
What's the most? That's what I'm asking.
I give you the other side, which is where I was going.
What's the longest you waited?
probably not a question you should be asking a man.
I ask a man anything I want.
I mean, listen.
Nigga, what's the most you beat your meat in a
I'm
day?
not answering the question. Listen. When I was a child growing up, my parents didn't have access to toys and lube and all that stuff when I was a child. I didn't have the internet to view porn on TV.
Okay.
Oh, you don't like the political answer I'm giving you?
No, please answer however you feel.
Oh, no. It was more or less a joke, but because anyway, I'm not answering that question.
Okay.
But what I was going to say,
Ask me. Son, go ahead.
what I was going to say is that I have done, I think it was 42 days before.
Of a
Semen retention.
of a dry. Okay.
Yeah. And which is actually longer than I had gone when I was incarcerated. Because
Oh, you was going ham in the while you were behind the bars.
Everybody does. It's a thing. Now, obviously, you it's not as much as you would think because you're just around people all the time. But you have your personal time, mainly in the shower. That's why you always have to wear shower shoes because there's babies all over them floors.
Be slipping on semen.
That's there.
Yo, watch out, cuz.
There's nowhere else. There was nowhere else.
I'm about to bust.
Pause.
That's definitely pausing there.
Damn.
Hey, y'all, pause.
Anyway, but part of it was unintentional. But this is when I had my kids were here for that summer. So during that time, obviously there was nothing happening. But then
When they were down here.
Yeah, they were down here for the summer. But then after that time, I continued it. And I was just like, hey, you know what? I haven't done this for a while.
So it was no urge.
Well, I mean, so yes, right? So, I mean, no, there was definitely an urge,
Okay.
you know,
You just
after
fought
a
the
couple
urge.
weeks. And I think then after about a week, I was just like, huh. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to just not, even in the shower, like, I'm just going to not do it. And then after they left, I continued it. And so that part was intentional. And then when it ended, there was a level of sadness that I experienced.
Sadness?
Yeah, a level. I mean, it was satisfying.
Yeah.
Right.
Sadness. Fire.
After almost a month and a half, right? It was satisfying, but there was also a level of sadness. I've done long things like this, like where I've, you know, even with fasting or, you know, I was doing 75 hard. Like I've done long, challenging things. And I think that there's always going to be a level of sadness, right? When something ends and then it's just like, well, then what's next? So, but it was definitely satisfying. Just like you finish your Raw challenge, I assume that at the end of it, you know, even if you don't, well, I would assume there would be a level of sadness because you just were like, well, I mean, I still was eating raw still kind of, you know? But then also it was satisfying to end because now you can, of course, enjoy other things.
I mean, I respect your opinion. I mean, I wasn't sad, you know. I mean, it's a different.
What's the word you would use?
Relieved. For me, like I didn't feel sad that I had to start cooking food again.
I said level of sadness.
Mel said happy tears.
I mean, there was no level of sadness. It was just like, okay, I did this. But
You haven't had a moment where you're like, man.
No, it didn't necessarily, because honestly, it didn't feel that challenging to me. It didn't feel as if it was anything hard. I was just like, yeah.
Because it's not. It's more just doing just action, just repetitive action every day. Because you're still eating. I mean, it still can be very enjoyable. I don't know how much you did as far as like changing it up, but it could be very enjoyable.
I would disagree with you.
What?
And I would say that it is challenging.
It isn't, not the way Mel did it.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you mean?
I just
He was just eating fresh fruit and he was juicing and
yeah.
you know.
I think that that's still challenging.
I think that after the first week and your body adjusts to eating so much water, it really is just pretty easy. It'd be easier than fasting.
I mean, I did see like my cheeks. I was like, okay, all right. It went down a little slower because last time I did like a water fast, I could see my cheeks come back quick. I was like, fuck, you know what I mean? But
You got them sunken in.
yeah, looks like it was like just a little bit.
It's a little inflammation leaving your face.
Just a teensy weensy, because like I'll compare my face like currently to like past pictures, and I'll be like, "Yo, like my face look chunky."
Oh, you're talking about back when we was in Louisville.
yeah, okay.
Them pictures.
Yeah, all those. You know what I mean? It was a little chunky, but
I think that any time that you are doing something different, particularly with eating, we'll talk about, that is different than what you normally do, I think it will be challenging. And if we see benefit from it, then why don't we maintain a portion of it? And I think that is the actionable side of it was challenging. I think that, and
I maintain, like when I did my raw food challenge, I had raw tacos like maybe 2-3 days ago.
Well,
like I still do raw food now.
Right. Well, there's a difference between still doing raw food and completely eating raw.
Yeah, but you said if you're going to do a challenge, why don't you maintain a portion of it? I'm saying I do.
That's like saying I did all fruit but I still have fruit every once in a while.
No. So when I did my juice challenge, before I had ever done a juice challenge, I didn't drink natural juice like that. I wasn't drinking juice. You know, but you become you get a taste for it. There's combinations of juice. There's experiences I had now that I'm like, I'll do that. I'm gonna do that again. I pick up stuff from the challenges I do.
I would say that in that instance of what we're talking about, I would say that regularly you would probably, if you were maintaining a portion of it, would be to have probably 2 days a week where it was raw, or 2 days a week where it was juice only, depending on what we're talking about. That's what I'm. All I'm saying is that it is difficult, and whether you found it difficult or Mel was saying he didn't find it difficult, whatever the case may be, it is difficult, we see that in our community.
What I'm saying about the raw challenge specifically, because you're going off on a lot of different things.
I don't think that I am.
The raw thing specifically is, if you're not doing the elaborate raw meals, just eating fresh fruit is very simple. There's no difficulty there.
Of course it's simple.
There's a mental difficulty and a physical difficulty like the first week as your body adjusts, and then after that it's the easiest thing in the world to do.
Whether we're talking about simplicity, whether we're talking about the dynamics of using a food processor and then using a blender and then using a dehydrator. I'm not talking about difficult or challenging in preparation. I'm talking about difficulty in maintenance, right? Of maintaining that process. And it is difficult.
Maintaining it 100%
maintaining
forever?
It during,
yeah, of course.
No, I'm not talking about maintaining it during the whole thing. I'm talking about maintaining during the actual time period of the challenge. I don't see how you're disagreeing with this.
I mean, I don't know if you're talking about everybody or if you're talking about us and our interpersonal relationship. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about in general.
I'm not talking about in general.
Oh, so the one time that
I'm talking about
so
me.
The one time that you don't want to, we talk about things, and you're normally talking generalities, right? Because you always say you can't take your personal experience, you can't take what you've experienced. Your experience is unique. Yeah, but now all of a sudden, when it doesn't fit you,
different episode.
Now all of a sudden, when it doesn't fit you, you want to now say, "Oh no, I was talking about specifically."
Well, we were talking about Mel's raw food challenge and how he experienced it, not generally, but how he experienced it. And I was great.
And I'm not knocking that. I'm glad that he experienced it, and I'm glad that he did really well. And I said that in general, when people change their diets and they are now doing a challenge or they're doing something they're not used to, it is going to be difficult.
Okay, and then I said, I know that you're going off on a lot of different things.
I'm literally been talking about raw food.
Well, you just said in general when people change their diet, so that's
okay, great. Even
literally incorporating any type of dietary. And I'm talking about
even raw, Chris.
Okay.
We can even with raw.
We're off the rails.
We're not off the rails. I've been talking about the same thing.
I'm specifically talking about when I did my raw, when Mel did his raw, and I thought you were talking about your experience with raw and how the difficulty level of it. And I personally think, with everything that I've done, that eating raw is really the most simple thing. I mean, Mel didn't even.
You keep saying raw. Simple. Simple and difficult are not the same.
He did juice and fruit. You didn't really do raw, did you? You did like fruit.
That is raw.
Yeah, but he did fruit. It's different.
It's still raw.
I mean, I did like steamed veggies.
Oh, okay.
I steamed some veggies. Like I would do potatoes,
broccoli. You keep coming from the perspective of simplicity. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, but that's what I'm talking about.
I've pointed out I'm not talking about simple.
Okay, well then why you keep going back and forth with me if we're talking about two different things? Make your point.
I've already made my point, and you keep saying that I just find it to be very simple.
Why are you so upset at me? I'm making my point. It's not your point.
Yeah, but you're not making it clear. I am making your point clear based upon what you are saying. Don't make my point clear.
You don't know what my point is.
Okay. Well, that's
the problem. You don't know what my point is.
So make it clear.
What do you want to know?
I already know. You don't know.
What?
You're confused.
My point,
Whatever. What Chris is saying is that eating raw is simple because you don't have to think about anything. You can just eat salad and you can eat fruit. It's simple.
I wouldn't eat salad. I would just say fruit.
It's simple. Okay, we said raw, which includes salads.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So it's very simple. What I'm saying is, hold on. I'm talking. Don't interrupt me. Have you heard that before? You remember that? Right?
Yeah,
what I'm saying is is that it is challenging to maintain. Whether it is simple or not, I agree with you. It is simple. I absolutely agree. It's the most simplest thing you can do.
That's all I said.
And I agree.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that it is very challenging to maintain for any period of time for someone who is just now starting to eat that way.
100%.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We agree.
For any like new, I think any new diet. But if it's
That's
like,
what I said also.
I feel as if like when I was doing doing a raw diet, it didn't necessarily not align with what I was already doing.
Yeah, of
It's
course
easy
it
transition.
Yeah, so it was very simple for me. That's why I was like, nigga, I could actually just do this forever.
I think that you also have a unique ability to lock into something, and it's your mind just.
Yeah, I don't even think about the possibility of not doing it. I think this is just what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
You know, so like, cause it's funny, like I'll think back about just challenges that I would do with like Chris and Anthony. This is what I would say before you got here. We would do like this push-up challenge. I'd be like, yo.
Did Chris did it too?
He no. Maybe it was Jonathan. Maybe I'm mixing Jonathan in there.
Yeah, because I think y'all asked me to do it or something.
What did you
Yeah.
say?
Y'all act like I can't do push-ups.
No, I don't.
Chris puts on a couple patches, does 10 push-ups, and then all of a
I
sudden
just
now.
go based off what you said in like your recent like thing, like your testimony, like that you weren't able to do some push-ups, and now since you've been doing them patches, you've been having the urge to do push-ups. and
No,
stuff.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean that's just what I was referring to. But I'm just talking about the like we would do. Anthony, I think Jonathan was living here at that time. And it's like, yo, all right, we're gonna do 100 push-ups. It was the month of October every day. And so the thought process of not doing or not completing the 100 push-ups a day never even crossed my mind. And so I think it was Chris. He said, like, I tried.
So wait, now I did it now, and now I failed. Is what you said.
Yes, I think initially.
Nah, that must be Anthony.
No.
I know Anthony didn't do it.
He didn't do it every. He attempted, but it was the thought process that because I distinctly remember because the thought it like puzzled me of actually not attempting it or doing it or completing it. I was just like, nigga, I didn't even think about the possibility of not completing the 100 a day. I just thought this is what we're doing, you know? And I was puzzled for me. I was like, oh shit, you can actually just not do it, you know, but you could try, you know? So that thought crossed my mind. So yeah, when it comes to like, I guess things that people would consider, I guess a challenge, like I get rid of that idea.
Okay, Steven,
not
100
completing
push-ups a day for October.
What about it?
Are y'all with it? Y'all trying to do it?
100 push-up challenge
I mean, starting in October.
in October.
Healthy alternative push-up challenge. All three of us.
If Chris does, listen, I'll do it.
All right, let's do it.
Because after the retreat, I'm 100% in on fitness. That's why I've been working myself up to being more consistent. I'm going to the gym after this.
All right.
And
Shit, I'm trying to find some spaghetti after this, man.
oh my God, you've been
Gravy.
yeah.
Bruh, yes. I had pancakes
Oh my God.
and I had a veggie burger yesterday.
Where'd you get it from?
First watch.
The veggie burgers?
Yeah, they had veggie burger. They didn't have pickles or fucking barbecue sauce.
Mel found a veggie burger. I ain't never known they had no veggie burger.
I didn't even know they had a veggie burger. Well, they're only open like 3 days a week though.
They're only open till like 2 o'clock.
Oh, maybe
Till
that's what it
2:30.
is.
They open till 2:30. And so I was
Okay.
like, let me go.
I didn't know they had veggie.
Get this spot. Yeah, trust me, nigga.
You
Was
gotta
it
get
good?
up early to go there.
It was cool. It was. I would say it was more like it wasn't filling, but it filled. You know, like it wasn't like
It wasn't satiating.
It wasn't nourishing.
it's, you know. The funny thing is, I'm also noticing the differences that they play on my body since I'm very aware of it. So like, I haven't had like Chipotle or anything like that, and I went back to I ate Chipotle, and I felt a little heartburn from it. I was like, okay.
Sofrito.
But I didn't get it from like the other restaurants that I ate prior. I was like, okay, so maybe I need to stop eating this from Chipotle. Because I went to Freebirds as well. Because I've never had Freebirds. And I heard
the
Freebirds
burritos.
was like, oh, it's the best.
You gotta be
It's
careful.
better than.
With a lot of those reviews and stuff, really what they're talking about is their meat. Like,
Possibly.
Other than that, their vegetables are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
The burritos.
I will say that I think Chipotle puts their bowls together better.
You mean the way that they actually put them together?
Yes, which makes a big difference in how you experience it. And also, the simplicity of Chipotle is also part of their strategy.
I've never been to Freebird, so I have no idea.
Freebirds has way more options. There's just a lot more you can do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Freebirds is cool. Like, it wasn't like this groundbreaking restaurant that people were hyping it up to be. I was
It's because you don't eat meat.
It's just a Chipotle alternative. That's all there is.
okay. Yes, I mean, it was cool, but, they took... I think they just didn't have fresh food when I went there. Cause
That makes a difference.
It's never fresh, especially if you don't eat meat. Maybe they make sure the meat's fresh. I don't know, but whenever I go, it's never fresh.
you go to the...
I've gone to several.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a really good point. We can we all three of us, we will experience a restaurant very differently, just because we don't eat meat, right?
Yeah.
There are places that people are like, oh, you gotta try it, and I'll go eat there, right? And I'm just like,
It's like it was nothing unique. There was nothing that made it stand out. It was just
Right.
like, it's just another restaurant.
You notice that because we know fresh fruits and vegetables, what they should taste like, and a lot of places will skimp on those things because produce is expensive, and it spoils a lot faster than your meat. You can't you can't freeze it. You can refrigerate it, but still it only lasts so long. So if it's not fresh, that makes a huge deal in our experience.
Yeah.
So
I've tried. So after I had Freebirds, had Chipotle, had Kava or whatever, and they were cool. Then I had the first watch, and then last night I was just like, all right, I think I'm cool. Then I was like, oh no, there's more things I want to try. There's more food I want to try. And I was like, you know what? I haven't had Italian restaurant. I want some spaghetti. So I was looking up some spaghetti.
Scaschetti? That's what we used to call it.
I was looking up some spaghetti restaurants, and like there was one
Spaghetti restaurants, not pasta.
Yeah, I mean, I did Google spaghetti.
No, it's funny you call them spaghetti restaurants.
I was like, spaghetti restaurants near me. That's all I want right now. I just want spaghetti. I mean, and the one that I want is closed today. I'm sorry, man. They open tomorrow, and
Why don't you go to Pasta Mama Pasta? It's right next to
I saw
Chipotle.
that. But that looks like more of like a fast food type.
It definitely is, but I mean, you can mix and match. They give you a lot of options.
You know what I really want? Like I would love a true homemade pasta.
Yeah.
Like an actual true homemade pasta.
Yeah.
Not like, we make it every day, but then we dry it and then you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like, no, bro, the dough's in the back right now and it's ready to be dropped in water. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I want a true homemade pasta.
It makes a huge difference.
And of course I'm like, I can make it myself. I don't want to make it myself.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like I don't either. I want to have it homemade.
Because I could have made pancakes and I could have, did all that. But I was just like, I want someone to make it for me, damn it. I don't want to make my own.
Sounds like you want a wife.
I do want a wife. You know what I mean? Oh,
how's that going? How's that going?
We're getting a wife?
I'm pushing us forward.
Steven, why you been?
I'm not. What? What do you mean? All I did was I'm pushing us forward.
Oh,
and it doesn't have to be specific about one woman. I'm just saying in general, how are things going? Well, last week, let's get a little follow up. We had some deep conversation last week.
It's going. I mean, it's cool. It's the process is what it is. I mean, is this nothing like it's only been a week, nigga? What do you want to happen in a week?
I mean, depending on how a conversation impacts a person, a lot can happen in a week.
How do you feel about someone inviting their child over and they're not mentioning it to you? Like they say, hey, they'd be like, yo, I want to see you. I'm like, cool, shit. Like, you'd be cool if I come through? I'm like, oh, yeah, cool, come through. You know what I mean? And then you get there. And then prior to you coming, like, yeah, we on our way. Like, nigga, excuse me?
Yeah.
We? Who the fuck is this we? You know what I mean? So how do you feel about having an expectation of a woman saying that she's going to be on her way, but then she brings her child, which wasn't in the conversation.
So let me preface my statement by saying, because I don't want Chris to jump down my throat.
Pause.
Okay. I'm going to remove
your girl,
my current relationship, out of this answer.
Okay.
Because
Thank God.
it would be oh, you know what? I'm gonna let you slide. Because obviously it would skew my answer, right? So I would be upset if a woman that I'm dating, right, talking to, whatever, whether I've met the child or not, and she reached out, was like, "Oh, you busy? Can I come through?" That was your example, right? I'm coming over, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, come through." You know what I mean? Let's hang out, whatever. I'm going to then begin to run scenarios in my mind about an expectation. Whether it is I'm clapping cheeks, whether it is we're going to just hang out and watch a movie, or, okay, well, it's Sunday and she's going to come over and I'm going to be watching football and I'm going to order us some spaghetti, right? And we're going to hang out and have garlic bread, right? Whatever the case may be, I'm going to begin, as a man, I'm going to begin to start setting an expectation and start moving in a certain direction mentally. And then when you throw, literally a monkey wrench in that plan by saying, okay, we're on the way. And I'm like, and then now you're bringing a child without telling me. I think that's extremely inconsiderate, and I think it's disrespectful. And as a woman, if you are, as a person, whether you are bringing a child, whether you're bringing a friend, like, you wouldn't just bring a friend with you, right? Like, why would you think it's okay to just bring a friend with you? Right? So why would you assume it's just okay to bring your child? No disrespect to the child at all. And maybe I've met them, and maybe I'm starting to hang out with them. We're cool.
Look, nigga, yeah, stay your ass at home.
Right? But
I'm trying to fuck your mama.
But well, hey, listen, right?
That's what it is. Your mom getting fucked.
Oh.
Yeah, me, and you over there, you messing up the game.
Oh my
nigga.
God.
You feel me?
Please.
That's my bad. Steve said, please.
I never see this in the reels.
Hey, we gonna put it in the reel, don't worry. Time marked, all right.
Bleep, bleep. Your mom getting bleep. Bleep. Yeah, but that's basically what I'm saying. Like, you need to just say something, right? Like, and I don't think it's difficult. I actually think it is subconsciously and manipulative, right? Just because you know what you said, and then what you will then do is gaslight me and say, "Well, I assumed that you knew." I didn't. What do you mean? Yeah. You're not joined at the hip. Every time that we are together doesn't mean that your child is with us. So why would I assume?
Like, in no scenario, and prior to me meeting your child, did I little nigga was just coming over. You feel me?
Correct.
I dated a girl once who brought her son on the date.
The first date?
Yep. I'm pretty sure it's the first and last date.
Wow.
And it's like, this is weird. Like, I don't have no problem with children. I've dated girls with children, but the fact that she brought them on the first date was weird. And she got so mad about that. Like, she got so mad, like, eternally butthurt about it.
What did she think was going to happen?
It's just like, bro, this is obviously not normal or kosher. This is weird. Like, get a babysitter, find some time. I don't understand.
If you don't have time to date by yourself, you shouldn't be dating.
You probably shouldn't be dating.
Right?
Why are you even on the dating market?
The same way that women will say to men, if you can't afford to date a woman, then you shouldn't be dating, which I agree with. If you don't have the funds to actively court a woman, now that doesn't mean that homeless people or broke people, yada yada yada, shouldn't date. That's not what I'm saying. But if you are a man and and your pockets are hurting, I don't think you should be going out there looking for a woman, right? That doesn't mean you can't find love. but I don't think you should be actively looking for one. But and so conversely with a woman, if you don't have the ability to separate yourself from your child so you can meet a man and then you can have an experience outside of your child so this man can get to know you, you shouldn't be dating.
It's not hard. A lot of people sometimes live in their own world, and I tend to find that certain types of people tend to live in their world more than other certain types of people.
Now I understand that women, and I understand what you're saying. And I just want to add on one little quick thing, but I do understand that women with children are package deals. So let me be clear.
I think we've not disputed that.
No, I think that just my last statement, it almost I can see how it can be taken out of context.
If a woman doesn't have time to date a man without her son or her daughter being there all the time, you are right. They should not be dating.
Yeah.
And I think the contrast was great. And if a man doesn't have the monetary resources to take a woman on dates and to provide things, then because why do women date men? For protection, provision, and all of those kind of masculine roles, those things. And if you can't do those things, take yourself off the market until you can.
Get yourself together.
Like, get yourself together. What are we doing? What's the point?
I agree.
Yeah. So
what happened?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you feel? You want me to ask your question to you? Do you remember your question?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No. You asked me how I felt.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I was just like, nigga, ain't no way. And like, as soon as I received that we're on our way, I kind of wanted to say, don't even.
Right.
Oh.
But then you can't say that, can you? Which is why Steven said it was manipulative. Because had she said, hey, me and my son are in the area, can we come over? You'd be like, nah, I'm busy.
Oh, I just said no, because I don't want to deal with the little nigga. Oh my God. I mean, because like, because I don't care about like dealing with children.
Why you keep talking about him in that way?
Him? I'm talking about babies. I'm not talking about him.
Yeah, you said that little nigga.
He's a little nigga. But I'm saying it's just like when you're dealing with someone who has a child and they're over here or they're just with me, it's not an interaction that we have. It becomes about whatever this little nigga doing.
That's true.
So it's like, what is the point of having interactions when everything is primarily going to be focused on the child? So it's just like, no, I don't want to be consistently hanging out with you and your child. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. Especially if we're not in a relationship type thing or there's some hesitancy or something like that. So no, I don't want to create a false reality that isn't going to necessarily, be what's going to be the end result at times.
I agree. Let me add one quick piece.
Go ahead, do that.
So now at the beginning, I took my relationship and I set it to the side. Now I'm going to then
put your
bring it back in. So now fast forward, right? So we've been together for a while, and there's a lot that we've experienced. And as I have very cautiously and meticulously began to interweave myself into the lives of her children, I find that I am very interested in hanging out with her and her kids. Yeah. Right. And it's obviously it takes some time.
How old are they?
Now they are older.
Okay.
So 10 and 7.
See, these are reasonable and logical thinking and not emotional based needy children.
Yes.
Okay, then that's a big difference.
No, absolutely.
Between a fucking 2-year-old and a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old.
I agree.
There's behavioral differences and annoyances.
I absolutely agree.
You feel me?
But even years back, I think that obviously the relationship itself and where the foundation of the relationship is helps to determine how much patience that you have for the child. And I think there's a direct correlation between your attractiveness and your where you stand in the relationship in regards to also what you are willing to deal with with the child as well. So I agree with you. You made points. All I'm saying is that over time, and not in this situation, but just in general, as a man, I think that you would start to then welcome the.
I get that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I mean, but even within that, if we're saying, "Hey, I want to come see you," you still would have to make it known that you're bringing your child or they're on their way.
If
I'm just not going to assume that the child is going to be there.
In my relationship,
but
currently,
y'all are like state to state.
That's not
right. But no. I understand. But that's why I said I'm going to I brought her back in. But and where I am at currently, if she was local and she was like, "Hey, are you busy? I'm coming over," I would be like, "Okay, cool." And then if she said, "Okay, we're on the way," I'd be like, "Cool." It wouldn't bother me because
completely different dynamic.
I've already prefaced my statement by yes, it is. That's all I'm saying.
I would still need to know in all cases.
And
I don't want to have any expectations that's different than what I'm saying.
And I'm glad that we differ on this point. Because and maybe it's the age, it's age difference, whatever, maybe it's the relationship, whatever the case may be. But at this point where we are at, and it's because I've started to build a relationship with the children directly, I would be okay with it. I'd be like, okay, cool. It wouldn't bother me.
Okay.
In this specific scenario, outside of her, I'm absolutely I'm with you 100%.
So that is just exclusive to her.
It's yes. Well, that's the only thing the only woman I've experienced that would be okay. So I wanted to be very clear about these situations because I don't need.
We know y'all locked in.
Because Chris
go break it.
No, that's not it. Because I had to do it for Chris because Chris loves to.
No, it was a good. It was good to do that.
Okay, thank you.
So the debate between Trump and Kamala was crazy.
Did you watch it, Mel?
That was a bad. We should have did to the Shannon Sharpe because that'd been perfect. But go ahead, because we were talking about relationships and stuff like that. But go ahead.
No, I'll transition us because I'm tired of talking about all this stuff.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so the debate between them was crazy. Like, I feel like there was a setup. Well, obviously, obviously it was a setup. But even the way Trump was acting, it's like, it was weird. It was weird. It was almost like, I feel like they done got to this. It's got to him.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? Nigga, they tried to kill him. And now they're like, nigga, tone it down. And he's finally starting to get in line. What do you mean? That debate was terrible. Have you ever seen Trump debate like that?
When you say terrible, explain what you're saying. I thought the debate was terrible as well, but what do you say? What do you actually say?
Wait. You thought it was terrible as well.
You said the debate. I agree. The debate in totality was terrible. What are you saying?
I'm saying Trump's performance was bad as well.
So that's what I'm saying. All right.
You thought this was good?
I thought that he could have done better. Right. But I think that he felt like he was fighting for his life. I felt like not literally, but kind of literally it shot him. Right. But I think that, yes. It was 3 versus 1. And the funny thing is, before everyone started saying that, I text you.
We were talking.
Right. But I'm saying, I think I told you, I said, it's 3 versus 1. As it was going on. Before, because afterwards, all the media was like, this was 3 versus 1. I said that halfway.
It was obvious.
Yeah.
Like, I think because I wasn't as far into the debate as you were. And I'm like, they're fact-checking him, but they're not fact-checking.
Right.
Kamala. And the reason I picked up on it so quick is the Project 2025. It was so fast. It was like right at the beginning of the debate. Mm-hmm. And she kept saying it.
Yeah.
And he's getting fact-checked and she's not getting fact-checked. I'm like, they could easily just...
I think that she got under his skin. And that was the plan, right? They used his rallies against him, right? She was saying that people get up in the middle of his rallies. Like Trump he has hubris out the wazoo, right? Every billionaire would. And she got under his skin, and then a lot of what she was saying took him off track. But when he was on track, I think that he was doing a good job, but But then when he's fighting 3 verse 1, and then they brought up the whole the race question, which I just thought was just absolutely ridiculous, because Trump was asked the question at that convention. It wasn't that he just brought it up with the black journalist thing, the black journalist convention, when he was like, "Well, I thought that she was Indian, and then she was black, and then I don't know, maybe she's Indian. I don't know, whatever she is, right?" And then they just took that, because that statement, they took that, and they're just like, "Why do you care so much about her race?" And he said multiple times, "I don't care. I'm just going off of what she has said," right? But then they asked him that question, it threw him, which I think that he should have been more prepared for. But I think that he tried to answer questions as best as possible, but it's very difficult when you're getting hit from the back and the side and the front all at the same time. Pause.
I think it was orchestrated to be this way, though, because this is the first time that there was no audience during the debate.
Second, Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe couldn't do the audience.
Joe didn't have an audience either.
Okay, but with Kamala and Trump, this is their first time, and then because she hasn't done any like live interviews with actual people who go against her line of thinking. Trump, he walks into the lion's den each time, and even up to the day of the debate is when her policies actually showed up on her website. You go to her website, and now they finally have a list of her policies. But even if you look at those policies, it mentions 2025 Donald Trump plan on her website.
Crazy.
And all this stuff went live on the exact same day of the debate. So
that was intentional.
Yeah, all of that was intentional. So I feel like even if you look at some of you already mentioned it, some of their bias when it comes to fact checking. They fact checked him like over 8 times during the entire debate, and they didn't fact check her one time. And when they were speaking about Ohio, because apparently there's Haitians going crazy in Springfield, Ohio, eating, live animals and cats and dogs and stuff like that. And there's people on Twitter, and there's people who create live videos that's speaking about what is going on in their city. That was fact checked, and they told him that no, they're not eating people, but you have people who are from there that's saying that Haitians are here and they're eating stray animals and stuff. But the moderator, it was literally like he was arguing with Donald Trump,
literally,
and saying like, "Hey, this is not true." And he was like, "Yes, it is true." And they was like going back and forth, which is like, bro, this isn't a debate. It's more about trying to just prove everything that Donald Trump is saying is wrong, because they mentioned about the abortions of people getting abortions after they go to term and after 9 months, which is something that happens, that's true, where people do get those abortions after the baby's already born. But they fact checked him and said that this isn't true and that isn't happening. But when in actuality, this is happening in different states throughout the country. And so it was an entire back and forth. I felt like Trump, he was a lot more defensive instead of just brushing off some of the BS they're saying and sticking to like the main points that'll drive his, the main point home. But a lot of times I felt like he was just speaking in ego. And of course he has a big old ego. So he has to, like, they'll ask a question and he'll be like, "Yeah, I'm just commenting back," and he'll step back and answer that question instead of addressing the initial question and keeping things straight on topic. Because Kamala, she didn't necessarily give the greatest responses or the best answers.
She didn't give an answer to anything.
She didn't answer one single question.
Anything.
Right? People, bro. People cannot be. Even though I'm like, okay, between Kamala and Trump, I'm 100% Trump, right? I still am very objective, right? Because Donald Trump doesn't necessarily answer questions all the time either. No, and I don't like that, right? I'm like, Trump, answer the question, right? And you can go on his website and you can go to his policies, right? His Agenda 47, and then under every section where they say we're going to address the economy, there's 5 bullet points of what they're specifically going to do to address the economy. Like, it frustrated me so much. It's like, Trump, you have this on your website. Why don't you focus on this? Say, this is what we're going to do. Drill, baby, drill. He didn't say it one time.
And he actually has some pretty good ideas.
He does. Like, there's so many. I'm like, bro, you are allowing them. You're getting into this pissing match between these children, and you're letting them bring you down to another level.
But this is why I said what I said.
And you're right. I agree. But I think that they set the tone, and then he got trapped.
Okay.
And they're going to win that battle.
Yes.
Because it's not the last thing that she wanted to do is talk about policies. And then the thing that pissed me off is at the very end, right before
his closing statement.
Right before her closing statement, she said, I just don't understand why we're just going this back and forth and we're just like children. The American people don't want that. Let's talk policies. Let's talk this. And I have policies. Let's compare policies. And that's the last thing that you say before closing statements. You didn't talk about policies one time, right? And all the policies that she's talking about, and this is a really big point, she's talking about giving a $6,000 tax credit to families with children under 1 year old, which obviously, whatever, great. That's great. That doesn't affect most people.
That doesn't affect most people.
Even
the $6,000 with child, you still got to have the children on your taxes.
Correct.
There's a lot of people that aren't included in that.
Yes. So number one, that doesn't actually necessarily give me money up front. It's just saying you'll just pay less. Right? We'll give you some more of your own money back.
It's a credit, right? I don't know if it's a credit or a deduction.
It's a credit.
Okay, it's a credit.
So, but that's one time throughout. That's one period.
That's terrible.
The entire
we're gonna fix this economy with a $6,000 credit for 13,000 people.
Only for parents with children under 1.
Right.
Which means if my child is a 2-year-old, this doesn't affect me. Or if I don't plan on having more children, this doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
Right? So we got to understand what she's saying. So this doesn't affect a lot of people. Right? And then she came out and said, we're going to give a $50,000 deduction for people to start businesses because it's an opportunity economy. Well, both of you guys will understand this. Right? But when you talk about a $50,000 deduction,
correct,
people hear $50,000 and they think,
right,
oh, she's going to give me 50 grand to start my business? No. You have to start your business. You have to have the money to fund your business.
Right.
You have to go through the year and hope that you even make money.
Right.
But then if and when you do, you will get a deduction saying that you made less income, so you have to just pay less.
Bro.
You're not getting any money.
The $50,000 deduction is so absurd. First of all, we're talking about new businesses.
Right.
Ain't no new businesses from ground up going and making $50,000 profit their first year anyway. Yeah. To even get the deduction. I mean, you're going to need to make probably $200,000 of profit for that to even start to make sense.
Because you automatically can write off, I forget what the number is because I've done it. You can write off most of your profits in your first couple years.
You can write off all of it if you want, but that doesn't help because then you can't
show growth.
Financing.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
Correct. So it really, this is like, wait a minute. This doesn't, for a new business, it really doesn't help the way you think it's going to help. Right? Because and people just hear $50,000 and they don't research and they're just like, oh yeah, I want to start a new business, $50,000, and they're like, how do I get this $50,000 credit? Like, what? You have to file your taxes and then your first year, couple years, you can write most of this off anyway. It's already built into the tax code. So you're talking about this $50,000, it's really not doing anything for you. For most people. So once again, when you look at her economic plan, which is really not a plan, they're just ideas. So when Trump said, yeah, I don't really have an idea, I have some ideas, like I'm not the president right now, which of course I think that he
said that in regards to the health
right.
Health
but
I was like, that was kind of a weak response.
It was a weak response, but at least it was honest.
Yeah.
But he also said, I'm not going to repeal it unless we can figure out a better way to do it. And he's like, up to this point, we haven't figured it out. So, I mean, really, he gave them what they wanted and was like, I'm going to leave it alone. But it was not necessarily, he didn't respond well. But I think that also showed his frustration.
Yeah.
At the end, he was just like, I'm done with this. But in general, man, like people, even if people cannot be objective, they don't critically think. And they're just listening, like people that are still saying, Trump, Project 2025, it's like, are y'all?
I think they say that to trigger him because it's been said plenty of times that he's not part of that. But they keep aligning him with that, if someone keeps calling you something that you're not and you've already denied it, there will be a level of frustration. It's like, are you not hearing me? So I could see them playing that up and trying to trigger him, which is, what they did.
Bro,
the 2025 thing.
I had a conversation with someone about this Trump debate, the presidency, the potential that one or other might be a president, not the debate specifically, but just everything surrounding it. And of course, they were on the liberal side. And Stephen, you mentioned being able to just
objectively look at facts.
Just be objective, be reasonable in how we are looking at things.
Yeah.
And I'm asking very basic and reasonable questions. What are her policies? I just sent a video to this guy about all her policies. Can you just name me one of all of these policies? You sent this guy this video. Can you name me one? Well, I don't know off the top of my head. You can't name one policy? Not one? I know at least one because they're so stupid and absurd. It's easy. They stick.
She only got a couple.
I mean, I've only heard her say probably like two, and it's all about credits, tax credits. Like you're gonna fix everything with deductions
and the
deductions.
And the one she's taking for Trump, which is no tax on tips. And
I haven't even heard her say that.
She said it one time.
I said once, yeah.
And then rebuilding the border wall.
Well, Trump said no tax on tips and no tax on overtime.
That's new,
bro. I'm like, no, Steve. I think I texted. I said,
yeah.
Mel, I don't know, bro. I'm like, man, I might go back to work. Okay. I might go get a job.
No tax on overtime. No tax on overtime. They destroy overtime.
I'm gonna say I ain't never heard nobody say that.
No.
And somebody was like, Trump can't too. He can't do that. And I said, well, do you understand that he can adjust the federal tax? Like he can't just swipe of his pen, but he can enter legislation to adjust federal tax.
Why do they think he can't do it? Who do they think is charging them the tax? See, this is the part, and this was kind of my story, right? The part that frustrates me is like people out here, Stephen, Mel, people are stupid.
They're stupid. They're fucking idiots. That's why sometimes it's not worth engaging in the conversation.
I don't want to say it.
They are. Because I'll see it on my Facebook and I'm just like, bro, I felt like I was like, there's no way that you people are thinking this way.
Can't engage.
There's no way that you're like, it's consistent and it's all from people that either live in Cincinnati or it's people who live in Texas, but they have this liberal mindset. I don't get it. Like ex-coworkers and stuff.
It's frustrating because you're literally arguing with a brick wall. It's like they've made up their mind. Well, actually, the media has made up their mind for them.
Yeah.
They have nourished this story, this narrative, and they're not willing to hear anything else because who are you to tell them that NBC is lying or that, Fox is lying or that, the narrative that's been painted by social media even, because it's got the left-leaning platforms on social media. It's like they don't care.
Listen, I tell people this all the time. I don't care what side you fall on, whether it's conservative, whether it's liberal. I would personally consider myself an independent because I really rock with RFK, and this man keeps talking. And
are you an independent because of RFK?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but in general, I'm moderate. And I would consider myself in the middle, which means I'm willing and open to listen. Obviously, because of where things are now, I lean way right because of the way the world is. But if RFK was running against Trump, I would be in trouble because I'm just like.
I mean, it's not really that hard of a decision, though.
Well, it's a decision we don't have to make.
It's a decision you will never have to make.
Right.
Right? An RFK, someone who actually would run the presidency correctly and get things done on a level that would be systemic and change the fabric of the United States in a way that would be beneficial for people that live here will never happen.
Yeah.
It will always be a game that we're playing. We're chasing our tail. You give a little bit. In that entire game, has Trump been the best president that I have seen? Yes. In that game. But to get someone who's like, I'm not going to play the game. I'm on that Kennedy-ish. We're gonna get our money back from the Federal Reserve. We're going to put policies in place that make sense, that help people. We're gonna fund things to nurture our children. We're gonna change the food industry. Like RFK's
the best thing that we can possibly hope for is Trump and RFK right now at this point, because
what do you mean Trump and RFK?
Well, I'm saying right now. Well, Trump or RFK is
supporting him.
Right, it's not just supporting him, but Trump says he's gonna put him in some sort of position.
Cabinet position. Okay.
Same with Tulsi. So, and that doesn't mean that they're gonna be in his cabinet.
It makes it seem like this presidency is never going to happen.
It's not going to happen
because they're both way too.
But we didn't think Trump was going to make it the first time.
That's true.
But Kamala,
we weren't into politics like that back then.
Well, I said that I think that the biggest. Yes, I agree. But I said that first year, I said I'll vote for Trump just because he's different. He's not just a standard politician, and that was a lot of his allure. And
I remember Tyler being here and us talking about, I think it was Hillary and Trump during that time. And Tyler was gung-ho about Hillary.
Yeah, we're from Delaware. We're blue. Oh, I blew all the way.
Why you include yourself in that?
Yeah.
You weren't going for Hillary.
You weren't going for
Well, I said we were from Delaware.
Don't put yourself in that. Don't associate yourself with Hillary.
Okay. But even our dad was just like, I don't know if he voted for Hillary, but he said that he saw her cry online on TV, and he was like, at that moment he said, I can't vote for her. But I don't know what it was over or whatever, and not because a woman shouldn't cry, but like, no, you're the president.
You're the leader. You
can't do that, right? I don't care, and I'm all about emotions and expressing yourself. You're the president.
I don't know. I think in the face of a national tragedy, you could get away with crying.
I think this is after a debate.
No. Obviously that wasn't. But I'm saying so? I think that as the president of the United States, if we lost, 100,000 people,
let's say World War II.
Well, it's harder to say with the war because that's over a long duration of time. I'm saying
so a battle.
Yeah, I'm saying like a 9/11 type of event.
A terrorist attack,
something like that, where a lot of children and I think that being able not boohooing, but literally just tearing up during a speech.
You see the eyes get glossy.
You see them
maybe one
single
tear.
Maybe after like a school shooting or some shit.
Well, I wouldn't
say that.
They're too. I don't want to get into that, man.
Yeah, I didn't touch.
I don't want to do that right now, but
like a 9/11 type situation,
a 9/11
in the moment where it's a national thing, where we were attacked, something like that. Pearl Harbor, right? So it's a single event, and there's a lot of loss of life, things like that nature.
I'd probably crying over money.
That's the only time that I would.
That's what it is.
That's the only time that I would feel that it would be acceptable.
You could use it as a way to manipulate the. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, keep it 100.
To manipulate the public to do whatever you want.
Yeah, people would connect.
We're gonna get rid of guns, man. I'm tired of this shit.
if I could see it being beneficial, if Trump if he would have done that, let's say this RNC speech after he talked about the shooting, that would have been a moment where I can be like,
isn't it wild that it doesn't even seem like he got shot?
Yes.
Because the media isn't talking about it.
It literally feels like it never even happened.
Yeah, no, it's literally last week's news.
That's crazy.
It's weird.
And that's like,
They didn't even bring it up in the debate.
that should be something he brought it up. He mentioned it.
He did. It should have been brought up by the moderators in some way.
And it's crazy to see the dynamic where he's the one who literally almost got his life taken, but everyone's still just drilling him and attacking him, and just like, bro, it feels like there's a big agenda there, man.
Bro, they don't want Trump.
It's kind of hard to pinpoint what it is, because I mean, I know you mentioned that Trump changed, but I mean, because I feel the same way as well. I don't necessarily see it necessarily during that debate. Maybe I missed something, but I do feel like as if, you know, his I don't know, his talking points.
Old? Is he getting old?
I mean, everyone's getting old.
No, but I'm saying,
Like-
is it
like-
starting to?
It's probably
An impact.
stress mixed with his
I
age.
mean, you have to
mentoring.
imagine that for the last year and a half, this dude has been under constant attack.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who you are. You get to the point where you're just like, I mean, he's been in so many legal suits. The attack, I mean, he has to be concerned about his family. I mean, he has to be concerned. He has a huge family. He has to be concerned about his businesses, right? And then now just the normal running for the presidency, being in the media, people talking bad about you, then him getting shot. Like, dude, it's a lot.
Hey, you know what? I just realized something. No one could have done this except for Trump.
Yeah.
I have never seen a forward-facing person just like like a Shannon Sharpe, or like just some either famous person, politician. I've never seen someone who's out in the public that could go through what Trump did.
Bro. I mean, 90-something indictments. Just the legals. They intended to take him out that way, right? By getting him in the courts, take his money, and he's gonna be like, I don't like this.
But he still hasn't been sentenced. They pushed the sentencing to after the election.
Yeah, because then he could take care of it.
Well, when it comes to the sentencing,
Hey man, they trying to get
what
Trump.
can they really sentence him with? Like, what are we really talking about? Fines?
He's not going to jail.
Right. But, bro, man, honestly, I think I just convinced myself to vote for Trump again.
You weren't convinced before?
The tenacity.
Yeah.
Bro, like,
Fight.
bro, it's insane. Like, Robert's not going to be, he ain't going to make it. He wouldn't make
RFK?
it through. Yeah.
No, not through all this.
He wouldn't make it through all of this.
Nah. Even though I like it.
I like him.
He wouldn't.
He shouldn't have to go through it. But I'm saying he's not a billionaire.
You know what I saw somebody said online, how they were talking about him and Kamala, and in the debate she was saying that, oh yeah, because they always try to tout it up like, oh, he's all cozy with Kim Jong-un, he's all cozy with Putin, and he goes and meets with them, and it's just like, at least he is someone that will go and meet with them.
Yeah.
Whether what you want to say he's cozied up with them, no, he's imposing his will on them. At least he will meet with them. You're not even doing that. And then then watching RFK and how he talks about the Ukraine war and how it happened, and then on the debate stage where Trump was saying that they sent Kamala to go be diplomatic and to resolve this war before it started between Putin and Zelensky, right? And they sent her to go meet with Zelensky and Putin, whatever. And he said, and 3 days later, the war started. She meets, 3 days later, the war started. Of course, ABC fact-checked him and said, Kamala, I don't think that you ever met with President Putin, did you? Right? And she's like, see, Trump, I told you, you're going to just hear a bunch of lies up here, right? And it's just like, bro, he didn't say that you went and sat down with Putin. Your job was to go out and resolve the conflict between Putin and Zelensky. And then in 3 days that the war started. But they pivoted it and just focused on the part that just said she met with Putin. That's not what he said, right? Like, when I hear these things and I hear how the war started in Ukraine, and then I hear about, of course, her going out to then resolve the issues 3 days later it started. No, she did this. It was intentional, dude. Like, bro, you gotta critically think.
They're not.
You gotta think critically and ask questions about what you're hearing. You can't just say he's lying. Well, look into it. Where's this coming from?
What I've learned throughout this entire process, leading up to this presidency, in November is that people who are going to vote for Trump are going to vote for Trump. And people who are going to go against Trump are going to vote for Kamala, because people aren't
that's very good, man.
looking at Kamala and saying, hey, this, like, come on. Like, you can't look at this human and be like, this is the person that I want to vote for. But people just don't like Trump so much that they'll vote for whoever is going against what he's talking about. Because any logical or smart human being who can literally just look at everything that's leading up to this point. Like, no one was liking Kamala. She had like the worst rating for like a vice presidency, but
Ever.
And then everyone's talking down about her. Like, where is she? She's been absent during this entire Biden, since they've been in office. The only time that we heard about her was when she was saying, "We did it, Joe." And from that point on, she's been silent. Now, all of a sudden, there's fighters and people. I love Kamala, and it's like, where did this switch happen? And another point that people seem to continuously overlook is that the person that you're wanting to implement all these policies is already in office. It's just like, bro, she's literally right here, now.
She's literally the vice president.
She's right here. And y'all don't, it's like, come on. She's in office right now. She's vice president. She can talk to the president and say, yo, let's do this stuff. But
like, we're not even seeing the where she's trying,
right? Where she's like, I'm going
do
to create
any
a
of these
bill
things
and put it on the floor, right? Because obviously she's not the president, right? We understand that, but as the vice president, you still have the power to influence and get someone to put a bill on the floor and say, I headed this up, right? Like, she's not even doing that. So it's like, y'all, it blows my mind. And it's just like, guys, you also realize that Trump was a president 4 years ago, right? And the he wasn't a dictator. The world didn't end, and you were better off under Trump. Not even just after Joe, you were better off after Trump. Previously, better than a lot of other presidents. Those are some of my best years. Right. So, as an adult, so it's just like, dude,
you would just have to compare. Look at the presidency. When Trump was like, look at the term, like the benefits and the good and all this stuff versus now what we're currently in. Like, all you have to do is compare which is better, which is more giving people more access to money and business prospering and small businesses prospering. Like, a lot of small businesses have been closing. A lot of, the food has gotten worse. Everything has gotten worse since Biden has gotten into office. And a lot of times they'll bring up things that happened at the pandemic and be like, yeah, Trump, all these jobs were lost and blah, blah, blah. It's because, like, bro, did you know we had a fucking pandemic right there? It's just like, come on, man. So I feel like ultimately, like, the people who are going to vote for Trump will vote for Trump. The people who's going to vote for Kamala are, basically going against Trump. But the people who are more independent, I guess the people who are like the RFK, who were following his audience, I think it would make more sense for them, let's just logically speaking, to jump on the bandwagon of Trump, just because it makes more sense, because everything that she's talking about it's more of idiocracy. It doesn't make sense. There's no solid foundation. She doesn't have the qualities of a leader. She has the qualities of someone who's good at following instructions and not someone who can, jump off the cuff and make business decisions. She doesn't have that history of running a business, and America is a business. Why not get one of the best people in business to take care of that stuff? So, but I do feel like, I don't know, there's like a sense of unease that I have when it comes to like the presidency, just because, like, in my mind, I'm thinking like it doesn't make sense for Kamala to be someone that would be presidency, but
she shouldn't.
Seeing the way the world is moving and hearing some people, especially that are like just close, family and friends, the way they speak about Trump and the way they highlight and acknowledge, I'm just like, there's no way that you all are thinking this way, And so I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of shaky.
It definitely puts you on edge. The fact that we can even think, okay, she might possibly win. Right. But here's what I'll say. I think that she can't win unless they cheat.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. We know they cheated to get her in there in the first place.
Yeah.
So I think that's where my fear comes from. I don't know
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, it's the cheating, and I think that they're hyping her up so much that they could cheat her in and it would make sense, and I think that's what I fear.
Bro,
That's because when you said the voting thing, I was like, I kind of want to get out there now, man.
Listen,
I was thinking about
It's a
that.
red state.
That's the only listen.
That's it. But nigga, I it's very seldom for me.
You need to
hear-
go to Ohio. You need to go get under your mom's address and go vote. That's the only way it would make sense.
I would do that in Pennsylvania. I thought about the same thing. Like it really makes me want to. I'm not going door to door and asking people to put signs in the yard, but like, you need me to do something. I've really considered it, but once again, it's like that's a red state. But regardless, it's not that. Oh, I just hate Kamala so much. It's just like, do y'all just not see how bad she does, even with talking? Like,
Yeah.
did you see that she just did an interview? It was like yesterday with a local reporter, ABC Local, and it was literally, he asked her like 3 questions, and literally it was trash, word salads, just.
I'm from a middle class family.
That's literally how she started. That's how she started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No substance. It's just like, this is how you know that during the debate, because there's other things that came up, but number
About
one,
the Bluetooth.
Yeah, but that's not just that. That was the most coherent I've ever heard her speak.
Yeah.
The most clear and coherent I've ever heard her speak.
Y'all think there's any validity to her earrings being like? Because like I was looking at her right ear, which was on our left on the screen. I feel like it was perfectly covered up, like where you can only see some like the shining part, but you couldn't see like the middle part of her ear if she had some clipped there.
I think that if she really was going to wear them, because she's a woman, she could just cover her ears.
Yeah, she had her left one visible,
Yeah.
but her right one was not visible.
I think that anything is possible, right? We House of Cards, you know what I'm saying? Like we watch enough shows.
Yeah.
Anything is possible, but there's something about the way that she was so clear and concise,
Not
and
cackling.
She was able to answer every question. She wasn't stumbling. And the only time that she stumbled is when Trump pressed her directly on asking her a question, and he should have been doing that the entire time.
which is part of what I was.
Right. But we asked her, well, would you support 7, 8 month, 9 month abortion?
She slid.
She
fucking went around.
Would you do an abortion ban? Like, she wouldn't even answer that question, right? So that's what he should have been doing the entire time, and it should have triggered him. I need to do more of this.
Yeah.
That was the only time she looked frazzled because she wasn't prepared for it. There was no answer for it, and God, right?
Bro, honestly, we keep talking about like how she talks and da 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 da. Bro, she's more coherent than Biden, and we have had him as a president for the past 3.5, 4 years.
Yeah.
So of course they could get away with doing it again with her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially because people are literally telling me, oh, she's more presidential than Trump. It's like, what is wrong with y'all?
They just don't. It's all feelings.
It's like, what is wrong with y'all? They're still talking about grabbing by the president and all, and it's like that. Oh my God. Like, this is literally it. Y'all just keep talking about, it's the same thing that y'all said the first 4 years. And yet we had an incredible 4 years under Trump. It's like, how are y'all so small-minded to be manipulated in this way? It's insane to me.
Who do y'all think? So I guess in closing on that, who do y'all think won the debate?
Kamala and the ABC moderator. It was the ABC? Yeah, Kamala and the ABC moderators won that.
I said the same thing. I think that she won because they were able to get him off his square. And when we, God, I want to try to be specific here. When I say won, like if you just look at the debate and you say who did better, right? Initially after, I think that she looked better.
Yeah.
Like after the debate. But then you look at the substance of the debate, I think that Trump overwhelmingly did better as far as substance and what he talked about. She did not talk about anything. There was no substance in what she was saying. But this is what I'm saying when I'm saying I can be objective, and obviously you can be too, because you're like, well, Kamala, right? You're being objective. And that's what I'm talking about. I don't care which side you land on, but can't you just be objective? And she had no substance to her words. Everything was fluff. The whole thing was just campaign slogans. We are for the people. And can we're tired of the division. But yet you're the party that is the most divisive. Like, everything that she's saying is a campaign slogan. There was no substance, right? Trump is up there talking about what was happening with Zelensky and Putin once again, right? There was substance in his words. So if you look at, I said I walked away from that and I learned almost nothing new. Mm-hmm. But then if I actually look at what Trump was saying, there were things new that I learned, and it all came from him. Whether they took him off his square, no matter what, he had substance to what he was saying. I don't care if she just looked more presidential, because I think that she did, right? But there was no substance to what she was saying. I didn't learn anything new about her or what she planned on doing. She didn't talk about policies at absolutely all. It was all fluff. So, would I say that she won? Sure, right? That would be what I say. But then afterwards, I feel that Trump gave me more.
Yeah, I don't think that she won per se. I would say that she did better than expected. And I think that Trump didn't look as good as he usually does. So it comes off as if he wasn't necessarily ready for this particular type of debate, because it was a lot more defense than just addressing a lot of things that you plan to do. It was more about clearing up things and leaning into a lot of her antagonization. So...
Okay, so Kamala didn't win, Trump lost.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Because she, even in her little word fluff, her words weren't, it was either dodging the question, it was just filling in an answer for a set period of time, but not actually addressing the core issues that make sense and that truly matter.
They're all campaign slogans.
Yeah. So interesting debate. We'll see how things go moving forward. I don't think there's going to be maybe one more debate, or if there's not going to be any more debates, we'll see what happens. They'll need to at least do it on a more median ground, or at least a Fox News or something.
If they do another debate, because Kamala wants to do another debate, and if they do, Fox News yesterday reached out to both parties and said, we want to invite you. Here's 3 different dates. We want to invite you to do the debate. They offered the moderators. Trump said, I don't want those moderators. I don't like them. But I would like to see like Sean Hannity. That's what he said. And he mentioned other people, but I would like to see Harris
can they both pick a moderator? It's just 2 moderators.
Right. Well, Harris Faulkner, right? You get a black woman and Sean Hannity, a white man.
Oh, there you go.
And I would love to see that, because Fox does lean right, but they are objective. They do criticize Trump. And I think they would be way more objective, and they would actually ask her questions and then press her on her questions, but they would also press Trump.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all hear that the chick who was the moderator for this ABC one, she was in the same AKA as Kamala?
After the debate, we found out.
No, I didn't know that, but that is that's a problem.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, but that is a major problem.
It's huge.
Because just that sisterhood, that's a code that supersedes.
Exactly. And not only that, the president of ABC introduced she's friends with the president of ABC. That's how her and her husband met and got together.
Bro. Wow.
All this we come to find out.
Yeah, obviously. It made sense regardless.
Yeah, the whole thing was rigged.
Yeah.
And it was a setup.
So I guess knowing all that information, I'm just like, okay, cool. I see where this is headed.
Yeah.
But moving on to things that a lot of people are talking about, which is Shannon Sharpe. Did you all think that? Okay, so Shannon Sharpe, he went live on his IG of him having sex. Getting it in, busting all kinds or whatever.
All kinds.
But it was mainly the audio. You couldn't see anything for real except for like the door or floor or whatever it may be. So it would be considered audio or so. But a lot of people, upon this happening, they're questioning the legitimacy of this. Is this legit? Is it staged? And there's a lot of theories out there. And so I'm curious to know your thoughts about the the legitimacy of this being a legit accident and it actually happened. Chris, what are your thoughts on Shannon Sharpe? Legit. You mean?
Honestly, man, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Like, I think that the gay comments bothered him, and I think he figured out a way to snuff them out. Because even when he talked to Ocho Cinco on their podcast, the first thing he said was, "Cat called me," and Cat said, "Well, you ain't gay today." It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like the first thing that he said, and I'm just like, I don't see how you can go live on IG by accident.
That's what I was.
I've never went live on IG, so I don't know.
It's not that easy.
It's not that easy. You can swipe to the live screen, I guess. But the way this sounds like to me is they was already in the act of getting it in, and it turned on. So that means during the sex, it had to be tumbled and fumbled, and then it got turned on. It's just like, it just doesn't. It doesn't. Technology, butt dialing, I get all of that stuff. And then Ocho even tried to put that narrative out there like, Unc, you're not good with technology. You be butt dialing me and da-da-da-da. This is not the same because the phone would need to be on your person. You were doing your thing with old girl. How are you butt dialing? It just, I don't know. It seemed like he did it on purpose to get rid of the gay. Y'all notice when he very first started popping, especially after the cat thing, people would say stuff and it would get under his skin. Like he was upset about certain things that people would say, and I think that's new for him. I don't think he's ever had to deal with that. Not necessarily criticism, but in that way. And I think he handled the whole wine and spirits thing when he got out the car. He handled that well, but did he though? Like, I don't know. Like, it could be he just be good acting. I don't know, but I don't think it was an accident. That's just my honest first take. He's pretty straightforward. He said it wasn't. I don't have a reason not to believe him, besides the fact that the gay stuff, and I think it bothered him, and I think he figured out a way to snuff it out.
What do you think, Steven?
Honestly, I haven't looked into it very much. I've looked into it enough to be able to talk about it, but I didn't watch the video with him and Ocho. I watched a small bit of it. And first thing that I said when I heard about this, I said, you can't accidentally go live on IG, right? Like it takes a lot of work to actually go through the process of going into IG, setting it up, putting in all your information, then going live. It's not just a click of a button. There's a reason that it takes multiple steps to get live. Same with YouTube, same with Facebook. It's not simple. So I don't think that it was on. I don't think it was on accident. I don't think it was a butt dial. And then they literally, him and Ocho had a literal emergency meeting or whatever it's called. They call it emergency whatever. And I don't know, Shannon didn't seem nervous. He didn't seem like, if that would have happened to me, I'd be like, this is weird. Like I wouldn't feel like remorseful or anything, like, but I would just feel weird about it. And he almost seemed like, Ocho, me and Michelle, right? He was talking about how, because Ocho was like, yeah, well, Unc, you know what I mean? We got to work on your stamina. It wasn't a long time, right? And then he said, oh, well, when it happened, I was already 20 minutes in.
Right.
I was already 20 minutes
right.
in. It's just like, how do you know that? Like, no, I mean, I guess you could, like, I guess if you knew what you were saying very specifically when you were saying, yeah, Michelle, yeah, right. If you knew very clearly when you said that, but I mean, me personally, when I'm getting it in, time just kind of becomes, I lose track of time, right? I don't know, because sometimes I'll be like, yeah, babe, we was only doing it for like 10, 15 minutes, and she was like, no, babe, it was like 30 minutes, like, and I'm just like, for real? She was like, like, I lose track of time. So for him to be able to be like, oh no, and maybe it's a Steven thing, but it's just how I took it. It don't sit right in my spirit. I think it was intentional.
How are you 20 minutes in and then you turn on IG Live?
I just now, granted, maybe you was doing something and you was recording. Even if you were recording her, right, intentionally, maybe you was getting topped off and you wanted to record her. I can understand that. You still can't get to Instagram Live by just simply recording her on a video. So I just don't see it. But he tried to say he was hacked. Shannon.
No.
Oh,
That was the publicist or something.
Oh, that was not.
No, Shannon came out was like, I wasn't hacked. It was an accident.
It was this dude just looking out for him, in a sense.
Okay, got you. Yeah, I just don't see how it was an accident.
Mel?
I think it was an accident. I think it was an accident.
I knew you was going to say that.
I mean, just
Explain how it was an accident, Mel. Accidentally going live right now with your phone locked and everything. Show me how you accidentally go on live.
I don't know.
Mel, swipe the buttons on your phone to accidentally go live on Instagram.
Look, all I'm saying is, when I've had my phone in my pocket before, and it's like the screen has been open, like I've sent a text message to people that I've never even messaged before, simply because it's been in my pocket. Like, granted, I don't understand the intricacies of how, because I've never done it on IG Live, so I don't have that knowledge of understanding of everything that it takes to go live, and I've never attempted it. And I'm not saying it's not out of the realm of possibility, but just the type of person that we've known Shannon to be. I just take him from who I know. Like he often mentions that he doesn't know anything about his life. And because even prior to that, there was issues with him and Ocho Cinco about being professional and all that stuff. And, making sure that you show up on time for your job and all this stuff. But he always mentions, like, he doesn't control any of his social media. He doesn't do anything on his social medias. All he knows is, he has everyone basically, like, when it comes to technology, when old people and technology are combined, it's like, bro, like I
frustrating.
Yeah, it's like I understand because I have older people in my life that I interact with, and I'm just like, bro, you don't know how to do this. And even when it comes to more recent technology stuff, there's some things I should be like, yo, I didn't even know this was a thing, So I don't know. I feel like it's legit. I don't have any other reason not to believe it. I mean, I do understand the being called gay and all that stuff could be, because that's a notion that's always been going out there. But I mean, Shannon has always been going viral for something, whether it's him defending LeBron James, smoking the Black and Milds, even making that little shaking his head, no, whatever. It's like there's always going to be something that he does that goes viral.
Isn't that what you do it for? I mean, when you're famous, isn't that what you want? Isn't that what you want?
He wouldn't. I don't think that Shannon needs to do any of this stuff because what he does goes viral without him even trying.
I don't think he does
his interviews always go viral. The Marlon Wayans interview, which was a really successful one, that has, it's the more recent one that has gone a little bit more viral than others. Even the Tyrese interview, like everything that he does, it has numbers behind it. So it doesn't make sense for him to do all this stuff in order to go viral. And I think that when he's mentioning in his Ocho Cinco interview, because granted, that live that he did, it had like 180,000 viewers, live.
The Instagram one?
No, the YouTube one in response to him going viral, whatever. So that was going to do numbers because that was already going viral. So it would make sense that if you're a viral sensation, to capitalize off of it. That just makes sense business-wise. Was the initial thing intended? No. Everything after that, yes, because you're going to capitalize off of over this moment. Then you're going to be able to capitalize off the people who want to, and you get more viewers. And he's also, it would make sense because he's also like, he's partnered with like a sex company that's similar to like a Blue Chew, whatever. That's, but this is prior, and I see people talking about maybe he's doing like some type of ad campaign for this, since he's like attached to this little sex company, which would make sense, but it just doesn't seem to line up with the type of person that I've known. You know, and
You don't know him.
I don't know him, but how he's shown himself, he's a very private person. Like, and he's expressed this, but like, what else do we know about Shannon outside of everything that he's, you know, displayed on football or that he's done on, you know, with Skip Bayless and what he's doing now with ESPN and Ocho Cinco? We only know him in those realms, or, you know, selling the liquor or whatever. That's it. Outside of that, we don't know anything about him. They don't express, like, so it just doesn't make sense for that to be a part of his brand now.
I don't think he went out of the way and said, we're going to do this. I just find it very hard to believe that it was an accident. You have to, like, so if you look at button presses, because I was messing around with it, iPhone, right? You have to, number one, open your phone, which I don't even have a password, and you know, I can't just swipe. I have to swipe all the way from the bottom to even open my phone, and then I have to get to the app, which even if it's open, there's all these apps. I have to get into the app, and then from there, like, then I have to go down into the plus, then I have to go all the way over to the right and go to live, and then I can go live. It's not a simple one button and you open it up. It's just not that simple. With the text, if you already have your text open, or if it's open to your text messages, you can accidentally send someone a text if it's in your pocket. But it's a lot of presses to get into the app and unlock your phone, and then you're already having sex and you're 20 minutes in. Why do you have your phone anyway? Which, if you have it, okay, I understand, because I've been there before. But I don't know, bro.
I think that it's one of them things where it's like, this is literally a 1 in a million chance. Not to say that it's not possible.
Yeah,
it's 100% possible, but it's a 1 in a million chance. And just because, like, I didn't watch the video, so
It's just audio.
it's just audio. The phone's not moving.
I think it's moving on the bed.
It's on the bed.
It is moving.
Okay. Mel, did you watch it or what?
I honestly, like.
Mel, you didn't even watch it.
I heard like the first.
Steven,
like,
did you?
The minute of him like growling.
I watched a clip of it.
So it's the phone's moving.
There is movement.
Okay.
So it could be on the bed.
Okay.
It's not on a dresser.
Okay.
So it could be in the bed with him.
And it was something covering the screen?
No, you can see light. It wasn't under the covers.
Okay.
So it was almost like if you were just having sex and you looked at a text and just threw your phone across the room and landed on the bed still, that's what it felt like.
So then the question becomes, is there material in his bed that acts like a finger that can move? Because so I feel like if you sometimes, I don't know, I feel like sometimes if you get water on your screen, it'll move stuff.
I could. What I would like to know,
I give him the benefit of the doubt.
I listen. I don't care.
Right. I don't care.
But I would have liked, and maybe they did this. I don't know. I didn't watch the interview because I really don't care. But I would want to know if I was Ocho, I'd been like, walk us through this. How did this happen? What was leading up to this point? Because if he said, oh, you know, Ocho, well, you know, my girl came over, I was showing her something on my Instagram, then we started doing our thing, yada, 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 right? And then in the middle of it, I take a little break. I'm getting a little old, or we want to take a shot, right? So I pulled up my Instagram again, and I was showing her something, and I just threw the phone back down, right? If Instagram was already open,
right,
and maybe a toe, you know what I mean? You know, Ocho, I don't know.
Right.
Like now if you walk us through that,
yeah,
and you say like, yeah, well, we were in the middle of it, that also explains why he was like, I was 20 minutes in. He knows he was already in when this started recording, because he was like, oh, this is when I picked the phone up, and immediately after, like, you see, you like, I can now begin to understand if he kind of walked us down that road.
Do y'all think he has sex like an old person? Based on the sound effects?
I have no.
Because they were saying that the woman, because he was like, he was growling, making those noises.
I don't know what an old person. I don't.
And because he was like, yeah, that's my Michelle. yeah, that's my Michelle.
That's
the only reason why people know it's Michelle, because he was saying her name. So it's just like, man, they having sex like old people, because she was calling him Papa or some shit like that instead of like Daddy or Poppy. It was calling him Papa, old Papa. That's
maybe
like
people call him Unc. Maybe he likes to be. Maybe that's what he likes. I don't.
So I mean, I was curious to know, like, when y'all.
I don't have a.
When it comes.
I didn't hear it. So.
Well, yeah, that's fine. But I'm talking about when it comes to you all, like, do you all like have the do you say the woman's name that you're getting it in with?
Nah.
Are you're silent? You getting
for the
it in
most
silence?
part. For the most part, it's just more sound effects than anything. But I don't be saying words like that.
You're not animated or anything. How about you, Steven? You silent, or you allow the moment to take you where it needs to take you?
It depends on the situation. If I have to be silent or quiet, I can be.
Do you prefer to be? Are you,
I don't.
Are we doing Tom and Jerry sound effects? What we doing?
I don't growl. I'm not making sound effects.
You don't growl?
Like Unc.
Man,
Like-
you might not even be aware of it. To be honest.
Yeah, you probably not.
I don't think that I growl. But no, I'm not. I'm audible, and
You moan?
Mel, today
really-
and
this is
Steven's interperson sex and all that has been too much, man.
You say what?
I gotta pause you today. Asking about how many times he nut. And,
thank you, man. Thank you, Chris.
come on, Mel.
Nigga, if I want to know, I want to know. Nigga, all he had to do is not answer or say whatever. Nigga.
I mean, listen, I'm not a politician. I'll answer the question, but I'm going to answer the way I answer it. But I mean, I said I'm audible.
Okay.
You asked me, what do you
You
growl?
be moaning, man?
Oh my God.
Be in there.
my girl likes certain things, and I think that women in general, they like to know that you are enjoying them.
Yeah.
So there are audible cues that I think that are attractive, and when she be like, you know what I mean, when she be calling me Poppy, I like it. So yeah, I don't mind saying her name. You know what I mean?
You gotta be thinking like, oh shit, did I say the right name?
No, I don't have to think, because there's no other name that I would even.
Well, not
do.
you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Obviously not you.
But if you consistently have different people, then yeah, maybe you don't want to accidentally say someone's name, so you want it.
Yeah, think about it. Like,
Right?
What's your name again, girl?
But I mean, for me, it's just easy. There's no one else, so it's not even. I don't have to think about it. But I mean, it definitely is a fear. In the past, it has been
Calling someone else's name.
for sure.
Yeah. Especially like if you're drunk or something.
Oh, for sure.
Oh man.
I've done it before.
Man, that is so far outside of my realm. I've never even thought about this. That's crazy.
Because you don't use their names.
You're vanilla. You tell you don't make anything.
You said I'm vanilla, but
yeah, you said that
Mel,
in past episodes. That's the reason why I'm saying that.
listen. I said that there's sound effects, right?
Clean it up.
I'm not. It's nothing to clean up.
Do you be moaning?
There's nothing to clean up.
Chris be moaning.
No, listen. That's what I was saying earlier, Steve. You might not know what you say or do because, like, girls have told me, like, no, you make sounds. You're audible. But from my point of view,
I don't think I'd be growling.
My niggas.
I don't know.
You be whimpering?
But I'm
I'm
just saying.
asking.
Yeah, I don't say
growling?
girls' names. No, like I'm not about to scream your name. No,
Maybe I do growl.
it's usually the other way around.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely.
Here we go.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I mean, but I've definitely.
Possibly growled before.
Oh, I growl.
Oh, okay.
I do more than growl. Nigga.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I would expect nothing less, but I really don't care. Like,
I mean, I don't care, but it's interesting to know. It's interesting.
listen, we got a conversation. You want? Well, let me see how different I am from you. I'm just curious. It's really not about you. It's about I want to know how about me, and maybe I'm the weird one, or I'm not.
I mean, I'm silent, really, but
I seriously don't see that.
I'm silent. Like, until I mean.
You're not animated.
I mean, my actions are.
Oh.
And like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't need to know. We can wrap this up.
Okay, well, I figured we'd have a little fun, but we have Mr. Serious guys here.
I indulged you.
What are you talking about?
You're asking about if we come or not, and if you growl,
Mel.
sir, I have to pause you.
Mel.
You're asking
Yeah.
too much.
You're the pause king.
Just because you do all of that theatrics doesn't mean
Like, man, come on, man, loosen up. You know what I mean? Take off the blaze and loosen up the tie. You feel me?
King.
Shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Y'all can pause me.
Mel, when you go too far,
When it's going too far, asking details.
about how a man pleases himself.
I
is
didn't
too
say-
far. Yes,
No,
you did.
no, there's no such thing as going too far. There's no such thing when you're having a conversation about things
As long
that
as you say pause, it's okay.
I don't care about none of that pause shit. I do that shit for fun. Yeah, I mean, but I don't allow that to dictate where my conversation goes and my questions. Nigga, if I want to know something, I'm going to ask something. There's no boundary that says you can't ask. I mean, I'm going to ask. If you don't want to answer it, fine. But nigga, I'm going to ask.
Should be a journalist.
You know what I mean? Shit. I mean, free Candace Owens. You know what I mean? Let my girl
Bro.
out. You feel me? Let her back. You know what I mean?
Damn, they're
But
on her.
it is what it is. So let us know in the comment sections. Do y'all be...
Please don't. Just don't.
But yeah, okay. We appreciate y'all rocking out with us. I gotta find a spot to get some spaghetti.
Get 2 servings.
Nah, nigga. I'm getting enough. Why would I get 2?
We'll get one for me.
Why? Nigga, you get your own.
Or you can get.
No, nigga, you get your own spaghetti.
Y'all see this?
Yes,
This
nigga,
is
get your own
crazy.
spaghetti. You wouldn't think about spaghetti. I brought spaghetti.
But I like spaghetti.
All right, nigga, where you gonna get spaghetti from then?
You're going to get us. some
I'm going to
spaghetti.
get me unless you pay it for it.
That's crazy.
Appreciate y'all rocking out with us. I am Animated Mel, Chris James, Stephen Michael. We will see you beautiful people next time. Bye bye.